Eli and the Sun Chariot, driving the sun across the sky for a day. Eli was a happy boy who lived in a small village in a sunny valley. The valley was warm and bright almost every day. Green hills surrounded it, and a clear river ran through the middle. People in the village grew crops, fished in the river, and enjoyed the sunshine. Eli loved the sunshine more than anything else. He liked to wake up early just to watch the sunrise. Every morning, he would climb the small hill near his home and sit on the soft grass. From there, he could see the whole valley. When the sun came up, the sky would turn soft pink and orange. The light would spread slowly, touching the trees, the houses, and the river until everything glowed. Eli would smile every time he saw it. He also loved the sunset. In the evening, he would watch the sun sink behind the faraway hills, turning the sky red, gold, and purple. It always felt like magic, but Eli often wondered about the sun. Who made it move? Who made it rise in the morning and set at night? Was someone carrying it? Was there a special path in the sky? Sometimes, Eli would imagine a giant pushing the sun with his hands. Other times, he thought maybe birds with golden wings carried it, but he never knew for sure. One morning, Eli woke up earlier than usual. The village was still quiet, and the air felt cool. He climbed the hill before the first light touched the sky. He sat down and waited. Slowly, the sky began to change color. The first bit of sunlight peeked over the hills. Eli watched closely, his eyes wide. Then something strange happened. A bright golden light came down from the sky, not the usual sunlight, but something stronger and closer. It glowed and shimmered, moving gently toward him. Eli's heart began to beat faster. The light landed at the top of the hill, just a few steps away from where he sat. It was so bright, he had to cover his eyes for a moment. When he looked again, he saw a shape inside the golden glow. Someone or something was coming toward him. And Eli knew this was the beginning of something amazing. From the golden light, a tall and majestic figure stepped out. His robe shone like the morning sun, and his hair glowed like golden fire. In his hands, he held a long, shining staff with a circle of light at the top. Eli stared in wonder. Who are you?" he asked softly. The figure smiled warmly. "I am the Sun Keeper," he said. "My job is to guide the sun across the sky each day, from morning to night." Eli's eyes grew wide. "You make the sun move?" he asked. The Sun Keeper nodded. "Yes. I wake the sun in the morning and lead it on its journey until it rests at sunset." The Sun Keeper looked a little tired. "Today I must rest," he said. "But the sun still needs someone to guide it. And I have chosen you, Eli." Eli's mouth opened in surprise. "Me? Guide the sun?" "Yes," the Sun Keeper said kindly. "You have a heart full of wonder and love for the light. I believe you can do it." Eli felt both excited and nervous. He had always dreamed about how the sun moved, but he never thought he would be the one to guide it. "What if I make a mistake?" Eli asked. The Sun Keeper's smile stayed gentle. "Do your best, and the sun will follow you. It is not just about moving the sun, it is about bringing light to the world." Eli took a deep breath. "All right," he said. "I'll do it." The Sun Keeper nodded and held out his shining staff. "Then take this, Eli. Today, the sky is yours." The Sun Keeper led Eli to a wide open space at the top of the hill. There, standing in the light, was the most beautiful thing Eli had ever seen. It was a giant chariot made of pure gold. The sides were carved with suns, stars, and waves of light. It glowed warmly, and the air around it felt like a soft summer morning. Eli's eyes sparkled. "It's beautiful," he whispered. "This is the Sun Chariot," the Sun Keeper said. "It carries the sun across the sky every day." In front of the chariot stood 4 great horses. Their coats shone like melted gold, and their manes and tails were made of fire. The fire moved gently, like it was alive, but it didn't burn the grass. The horses' eyes were bright, and they stamped their hooves, ready to run. Eli walked closer. He could feel the warmth of the chariot and the horses, but it was not too hot. It felt safe. The Sunkeeper placed a hand on Eli's shoulder. "Today, these horses will follow you. They know the way, you just have to guide them." Eli climbed into the golden chariot. The seat felt warm, like it had been sitting in the sun all day. In front of him were the reins, made of golden light. He took hold of them, his heart beating fast. The sun itself floated behind the chariot, glowing like a huge golden ball. Its light wrapped around Eli like a soft blanket. The Sunkeeper stepped back and smiled. "Go, Eli. The sky is waiting." Eli nodded, holding the reins tightly. He was ready to begin his journey. Eli held the golden reins tightly. The fire-maned horses stamped their hooves, and the ground shook a little. "Easy," Eli whispered. The horses lifted their heads, ready to run. Slowly, Eli guided them forward. The Sun Chariot began to move. The wheels rolled over the grass, then lifted into the air. Eli's heart raced as they rose higher and higher. The wind rushed past his face, warm and fresh. The horses galloped through the clouds, their manes of fire lighting the sky. Below, the world began to glow. The sunlight touched the tops of the hills first, turning them golden. Then it spread over the fields, making the grass shine. Rivers sparkled like silver ribbons. In the villages below, people began to wake up. Eli saw farmers stepping outside, looking up at the brightening sky. Children pointed and smiled as the sunlight reached their homes. Eli felt proud. He was bringing the day to everyone. But he also knew he had to be careful. The horses were strong, and the light behind him was very bright. If he went too fast, the day would come too quickly. If he went too slow, some places might stay in shadow. He kept his hands steady on the reins. The horses seemed to listen, slowing when he pulled gently, running faster when he loosened his grip. The sky turned a soft blue, and white clouds floated around them. Birds flew past, their wings catching the light. Eli smiled. This was only the beginning of his journey, and the whole world was watching the sunrise. The sun climbed higher and higher in the sky. Eli could feel the heat growing stronger. The fire-maned horses snorted and tossed their heads. They pawed at the air, their manes flashing bright sparks. "Easy now," Eli said softly, pulling the reins a little. But the horses were restless. They wanted to run faster. Suddenly, the chariot jerked to one side. Eli gripped the reins tightly, trying to hold on. The wheels wobbled, and the golden light behind him swayed. The horses galloped too fast. The sun sped across the sky. Below, shadows raced quickly over the land. One moment it was bright, the next, it was dim. In the villages, people looked up in surprise. Farmers shaded their eyes. Children stopped playing. Shadows moved over their homes like clouds, even though the sky was clear. Eli's heart pounded. He had to slow the horses down before the day passed too quickly. He pulled hard on the reins, leaning back with all his strength. "Please, slow down," he called. The horses fought against the pull, their hooves striking glowing sparks in the air. The chariot shook, and the heat made sweat run down Eli's face. Bit by bit, the horses began to listen. They slowed their pace, their breathing heavy. The chariot steadied, and the sun moved at a gentler speed again. Eli sighed with relief. The shadows below began to move normally. The people returned to their work, no longer confused. But Eli knew he had to be careful now. The day was only halfway done, and the journey was far from over. Eli took a deep breath. His hands were still holding the reins tightly. The golden chariot felt warm under his feet, and the fire-maned horses pawed at the air. He remembered what the Sunkeeper had told him before they started. The sun must shine gently, not too fast, not too slow. Eli let those words fill his mind. He loosened his grip just a little and spoke softly to the horses. "It's all right. We're going to move steady now. No rushing, no slowing too much." The horses' ears twitched at his voice. They tossed their heads less. Their breathing became calmer. Eli kept talking to them. "Look down there. he said gently. "The people are working. The fields are growing. We need to give them just the right light." He guided the reins with steady hands, making sure each movement was smooth. The golden wheels rolled evenly through the sky. The heat softened into a warm glow instead of a burning blaze. Below, the world began to settle again. Farmers bent over their crops, smiling as the sunlight touched the plants. Children played in the open fields, their shadows steady and clear. Rivers sparkled, not too bright, not too dark. Eli could see how the right balance made everything look peaceful. The horses moved in a gentle rhythm, their manes glowing but no longer throwing wild sparks. The hum of the chariot's golden frame was calm, like a happy song. Eli felt his own heartbeat slow. He smiled to himself. He understood now driving the sun was not just about going forward. It was about knowing when to hold back, when to move ahead, and when to simply keep steady. The world below returned to its natural rhythm. Morning had passed, and now the afternoon light spread like a soft blanket over the land. Birds flew across the sky in smooth lines. Even the clouds seemed to move in gentle shapes, not rushing anywhere. Eli glanced ahead. The horizon was turning golden. It would soon be time to guide the sun towards sunset. But for now, he held the reins firmly and kindly, keeping the day just right. The day was almost over. Eli gently guided the golden chariot toward the horizon. The horses slowed, their manes glowing softly in the evening light. The sky began to change. Orange, pink, and purple colors painted the clouds. The rivers below reflected the warm light like ribbons of gold. As the sun touched the edge of the world, a bright figure appeared. The Sun Keeper had returned. He smiled and placed a hand on Eli's shoulder. "Thank you, Eli," he said. "You drove the sun with courage and care." Eli smiled back, feeling proud. The Sun Keeper took the reins, and the chariot slowly faded into the night sky. Eli stood on the hill, watching the last glow fade. He knew he would never forget the day he drove the sun. Moral lesson? True responsibility means doing things with care, patience, and balance. Love magical adventures with life lessons? Follow for more heartwarming stories full of wonder. Subscribe so you never miss the next inspiring tale. More magical journeys are waiting for you.